Yo, what does up? Welcome back to Reviews with Jake, where I just got done watching Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn's a story about some college-aged kids who go on a road trip through the Appalachian Mountains. Trouble is, they travel off the beaten path and end up being faced against, well, we'll call them violent backwoodsy folks. Sure sounds like the original Wrong Turn, right? Well, look, I really enjoyed the original Wrong Turn. It's stupid as hell, but it's just oozing with, like, that campy, ridiculous charm of the era. Now, the plethora of subsequent sequels, I can't really speak too much to. I think I saw the second one, don't really remember much about it. I think I remember seeing the first scene of the third film where someone gets chopped in half with an axe right down the middle in one fell swoop. But anyway, this is a very interesting case study in the whole reboot/remake philosophy. I'm not sure which they're qualifying this as. I personally believe that if a film is going to be remade, you're visiting a story that has already been told. You have to have a reason for it. Justify the reason it exists outside of just choosing an IP that people know and are going to put their butts into seats. If you just regurgitate the same film, people are going to be pissed. And on the flip side, if you take way too many liberties, people will also be pissed because you're not respecting the source material. So is it kind of a lose-lose scenario? Well, Alan McElroy doesn't think so. He wrote the original film, all of the sequels, and this one. Clearly, the dude has something new to bring to his brainchild franchise. What could it be? And will it work? The pros start with me really enjoying the violent aspect of this film, as is expected from a movie that has the Wrong Turn title. The original film was a very bloody one, and this one really captures that. From a mass of very creative traps that are laid throughout the mountainside for people to fall into, the brutal kills, and of course the combination of the two, it was great. There was one concept/trap that I really enjoyed above all the rest. It was very unique, very creative, very twisted, and very dark. You will get that after watching. This film did not lack in that aspect, that creativity. That's what I was looking out of Willy's Wonderland a few weeks ago. This film has it, that one did not. There are some very memorable moments here, moments that you'll remember while you're dreaming and have stomach-churning nightmares. And those nightmares will probably take place in a horrifyingly intricate and elaborate set and location, just like this film. Right when we were introduced to our antagonist neck of the woods, literally, I was floored by the amount of detail put into it. It was so primitive, everything decorated with skulls and bones, lit by torchlight. It was like walking into a time machine and walking out into the mouth of the beast. I also really enjoyed the third act. We'll get into the first two acts here in a little bit. You can see where this is going. But the third act was great. It started to kick up the RPMs a little bit, and I enjoyed it. Do I agree with every decision made during this portion of the film? Absolutely not. But it was at least watchable and actually somewhat enjoyable. However, by the time that the third act finally rolls around, you have probably already checked out mentally because the first act and most of the second act borderline unbearable. It is stuffed to the brim with every single cliche and trope that you could ever imagine from the horror movie genre. The harbinger in town that warns of their doom, the cop that does not give a shit, the stupid group of college kids, the one protagonist girl that you just wonder why the hell she hangs out with these idiots. It is like the cabin in the woods buffet. Like, damn, I thought we were done with this type of movie after it was exposed in that one. Except for it was amplified here because these characters were so damn unlikable. They are constantly bickering with each other over the stupidest, pettiest stuff. They are out hiking in the Appalachian Mountains looking like they're dressed for a night on the town. They were just the most cocky, smart-ass, entitled people that I've ever seen in a movie, and they were impossible to root for. Straight up at one point, after they get lost, one of them literally says, "No cell phone? No GPS? How are we gonna get out of here?" I do not think I've ever wanted paper people in a horror movie to just get got already. This also leads right into the political undertones of this film. Hell, they're not even undertones. They are way overtones. They are hit you in the face tones. I don't think I've ever seen a movie more needlessly political than this one. I never watched the original Wrong Turn saying, hey, you know what would make this better? Politics. The kids are stereotypical hipster left-wingers. The townsfolk are stereotypical teeth-rotting right-wingers. Both sides are just built on the cliches that each side actually thinks that the entire population of the other side is comprised of. And every time they are on frame together, they just argue, and it's so annoying. It's like, damn! Chop chop already. It's like clicking the comment section of any CNN article that has the word Trump in the headline. You got Grandpa Eustace in Arkansas versus Asher from Oregon, and they're battling out for keyboard supremacy. I left Facebook like a year ago because I don't like that shit, so get it out of my horror movies. I also found the antagonist of the film wildly inconsistent. I can't dive into it too much because of spoilers, but I think an important part of any story is understanding the threat at hand. However, this film makes it impossible because at some very critical moments of the film, our crazy, backwoodsy, violent folks kind of change the way that they live at very inconvenient times for us. I also think that the overall structure of the narrative was very questionable. Most of these qualms circulate around a dad subplot that I just did not think worked at all. It just kind of cuts to him at random moments throughout the film. It almost feels like an intermission versus anything vital to the story that you're watching. Finally, despite the thrilling third act that I mentioned before, I thought that the first two acts had kills that were much less satisfying. Excitement generated through shaky cam and rapid editing, the usual suspects, and then kills that would be satisfying if they didn't happen over here. It would set up a very gnarly kill, imply that it happens, cut away, then come back to just show you a bloody battered corpse. I don't know if it was due to budget constraints or what, but it was very unfulfilling. It wasn't until the third act that I thought that it actually started to have some charm to it. All in all, if you are somehow able to bash it into your brain that you are not getting anything that remotely resembles the original Wrong Turn, you'll get, well, probably a still pretty subpar film. But for me, I had my expectations set, my hopes set, and I was not satisfied. That knocks things down a few notches for me. I really just don't understand why this needed to be included in the Wrong Turn IP, especially with the original creative force behind this one too. If it had a different name, yes, less people would probably watch it, but less people would also have false expectations of what to get here, including myself. I'm going to give Wrong Turn a C-. Random sidebar, if you watch this on Amazon Prime VOD, watch all the way to the end. You see, I just kind of let it keep playing so I could jot down my final notes and thoughts on my phone to make this review right now. The credits were rolling, and then all of a sudden some random clips popped up. At first I'm like, oh post-credit scene. But then I realized, one, there was no audio, and two, there were already clips that I'd seen throughout the rest of the film. One of which was the very last shot and sequence of the film. The only explanation that I can think of is that they had some random junk throwaway clips in the end of the sequence on the edit, and they did not set the in and out points and they exported it, and then those clips are on there. It happens. I've done it before. I've exported something like this and sent it to a client. It's embarrassing, but I just never thought I'd see it on Amazon VOD. Maybe it's something that someone will notify the right people and fix it, but I'm just kind of curious because I find it pretty hilarious. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe to this channel to stay up to date with new reviews coming real soon. Stay safe. Thanks for checking in.